Welcome back to Sound Advice, marketing and publicity tips for musicians. Ariel Hyatt from Ariel Publicity here, talking to Derek Sivers, dear old friend. And I want to get into basic steps. So an artist is up on CD Baby. They've gotten into your digital distribution system and their CD's ready to go. What should they do? What's the first step they should take?
I think a lot of musicians ask this question that's like, what they're kind of saying is, what's the one thing I should be doing? Like, what's the one thing I'm missing? I'm not famous yet. I'm not selling. What's the one thing I'm missing? But the answer is that there is no one thing. And that's why it's hard to find that, especially if you try to put too much weight onto thinking. It's almost like people want to say, oh, well, here's a phone number you need to dial and type a secret passcode and then you'll be famous. That it's not any one thing. And the most successful are the ones that are constantly doing lots of things. They're constantly every day making some phone calls and constantly every day working on their songwriting and very specifically improving it, not just letting, your first draft become your final, but actually going back to songs that you've written and fixing them and improving them and meeting a few people every week, a few new people that could possibly help your career, things like that. So it's really, the cool thing is that once you realize that it's no one thing, you can have more of a carefree, hey, let's try it kind of attitude. So I love sentences that start with, like, let's see what happens if.
Right.
Like, because that's where all the fun stuff happens. Let's see what happens if we email our mailing list. I know a band that did this, by the way. What happens if we email our mailing list and tell them not to come to next Thursday's gig? So I met this band that they said one of the most successful things they ever did after 2 years of emailing their list saying, hey, please come to our show, please come to our show. They said, let's see what happens if. They said, all right, everybody, please do not come to our show next Thursday night at, the bitter end or whatever, because honestly, we're going to do some new stuff that will just blow your mind. You will not be able to sleep at night. It's really just going to freak you out. So don't come to that show. And of course, everybody went, oh, I got to go. If they're saying not to, that sounds interesting, So it lets you try fun stuff once you realize there is no one thing. So go try crazy things. I know some band once that went and picketed the Howard Stern show wearing hazmat suits or something like that. And Howard's just like, what the hell are these guys? Come on, bring them on upstairs. And, you just got to have fun with it. Try stuff and just try lots of things, knowing that it won't be any one big thing that makes all the difference.
Right. Great. I often say that too. Musicians tend to attach a lot of significance. There's so much meaning. Like, I called that person and they weren't nice, and that means something. But truthfully, maybe that person is just having a fight with his wife or a bad day, and you think it's you, but it's a great. Let's see what happens if.